everyone, welcome to Knitting Noodles, and in today's video I'm going to do something a little different. This is the first video in a 3-part series where I cover how to knit on a budget. This is a completely beginner-friendly video, and it is all about knitting needles. So here I am on a trip to go to the store and show you what you need to get to make very cheap knitting needles. And yes, I did say make. You could also get. But come along with me as I awkwardly go filming and shop and enjoy the ride.
Delicioso. Is that why they're called delis?
I just wanted to quickly go over prices. Now with making needles, it is way cheaper than buying them. You're gonna be spending anywhere from $0 to the top price of, shocker, 78 cents, which is way cheaper than getting them in a store where cheapest is $3. Alternatively, you could go to a thrift store, which I did not do, and get used for very cheap. Here I am walking in because I was low-key really awkward and didn't know how to film. I got better towards the end. Back to school section, first stop, got myself some pencils, and here I found some erasers. It's 60 pieces for that. And I was looking for dowels, and I don't know if you can see what I see, but I found an actual pair of knitting needles. Now these are kind of awkwardly long, so I didn't pick them up, and they're plastic. Not my style, but they're there if you want them.
Oh, he has no socks.
Yeah, no socks. Uh-oh. I swear to God, I couldn't find dowels anywhere. I feel like they should have them, though. Picking up some sandpaper in the hardware section. It's all coming together. I guess look out for dowels. Otherwise, all I need is clear nail polish. Getting a sneaky view of my partner and our baby. He hates being filmed, so I had to do this secretly. And here we found the nail polish, and I just have to sort through this mess to find some clear. And I found some. So I found everything except for the dowels, but Michael's has that. I was just hoping to find it here. So next step is Michael's. Alright, so we just finished out of the dollar store. It was really awkward filming. I'm not used to that. I did film a bit though. So basically all I spent, I might have to flip this when I'm editing, but I only spent $8.15, $8.15 for everything. $1.25 because it's not the dollar store anymore, it's the $1.25 store. Thank you, inflation. So what I got a pack of pencils, went for 16 piece. Now the size 2 regular pencils is roughly a size 8, US 8 knitting needle. I'll have to double check what millimeter size that is. But roughly that's what it is. I'll show when I get back to the house. Where are you going, crazy boy? On the measuring thing that I have that measures what size the needle is. Kind of like poke it through a hole. So we got this. We got a big pack of erasers. Now alternatively, Alternatively, you could use rubber bands. I have a ton at the house, so I didn't buy any. But if you want rubber bands, that works too. I just think these work a little better. If you want to go a little bit more expensive, because rubber bands you can find everywhere. Steal some from the grocery store. We also got some sandpaper. I was looking for wooden dowels because that would make a smaller size needle than the pencils. But I would think the dollar store would have, but the dollar store did not have wooden dowels. I know Michael's does, so we're gonna stop over at Michael's next. Just sitting outside right now. So we're gonna pick up some wooden dowels at Michael's. So that's what the sandpaper is for. And we got a sharpener for our pencils and our dowel sticks. And the last thing we got is some clear nail polish. What? You want that? We're next gonna go into Michael's. We're gonna look at what regular knitting needles cost. I do have to buy a size 2 double point. If you've watched a previous video, alright, fine, you can have it back. A previous video, I have an incomplete set of size 2 knitting needles. So I've been incorporating a straight needle in there, which is really annoying, so I'm gonna get myself a new set. I did see a knitting needle in there. They only have one size, which is a 5mm. I think that's like a size 6, 7. Could be wrong. But I hate plastic needles and they're really long, and there was only that one size. So you could alternatively, instead of buying all this stuff, you could just buy that. But yeah, we're going to the next price point up, which is Michael's. We have entered Michael's, and they had like 3 racks of clearance yarn. You can see how absolutely massive this yarn is as the baby tries to grab my phone. Some more of that giant yarn. Even more. They had quite a lot, honestly. And since I was by myself, I couldn't really look that closely. We have some needles on clearance as well, and I think there's some more on the other side. Yes, there is. They actually have knitting books. They usually only have crochet. Oh, no, that one's crochet, that one's crochet. Is that one crochet? No, that one's knitting. Oh, they have a baby knitting book. Oh my goodness, I've been wanting to get this book. Oh, it's so cute. If you want to take it fantasy. Yeah? You see the baby? Searching for my size 2 double point needles that I need. They have quite a large selection usually. It's kind of empty today. Oh, do they not have a US 3? Oh, that's close. The 2 spot. No? US 2. I found it. I get it. And mine eyes has spotted a clearance sign. I've been kind of wanting like a yarn container. Oh, it fell. And this yarn bag is really cute. It fell twice. That means dibs. I have to take it now. For whatever reason, my Michael's only has packs of dowels. They used to sell single sticks. I'm not really sure if it's just my Michael's that did this or if all of them are getting rid of the sticks. I wandered around a bit trying to find if they still had that, because I did kind of just want a single long piece instead of a giant pack. I ended up getting the giant pack. I decided to get this pack of dowels. It was the smallest one, and now all I need to do is find clay. Alright, we found the clay. Oven bake? We don't want oven bake, we want air dry. That's oven bake. Is there air dry? Spoilers, there wasn't any air dry. I should have gotten the oven bake. It will not burn your needles to put wooden dowels in the oven for like a few minutes. But I wanted air dry, and I grabbed the pack without thinking, and it was never dry instead of air dry. So don't make that mistake. for our first needle, we have a pack of pencils. I bought these at the dollar store, but you probably already have some in your house. Now the first step that you need to do is to get these bad boys sharpened. So you can't be knitting with flat needles. Alright, I have my pencils sharpened. Now I'm going to show you on this, which is a knitting measuring square. The holes are for each size of knitting needle. That's the number up top. That's also that's the US size. Up top here is the millimeter size for each corresponding. And then underneath is letters, because that's how crochet hooks are measured. So it's literally in everything. Measuring stick. Now this is very helpful for sizing your needle. So we're gonna size these pencils, and they're about a size 11. So they definitely don't fit in the 10.5. They're a little loose in the 11, but we'll call them an 11. So what we're gonna do, take our rubber bands, wrap them around the end. I just grabbed 2. This just adds a little stop. Now this is the virtually free version of knitting needles. I decided to spend money on these pencils, but I have pencils laying around that I could have used if I wanted to. Alternatively, you could cut this off. I mean, we're just winging it though. We're just putting makeshift little stoppers on there, and then we just cast on. So I'll show you. And it can be a little bit annoying. However, if you're just starting out, this is a plenty fine, very good way to learn. I might have made the points a little bit too sharp. You don't have to make them that sharp. Alright. Then I'll start knitting with these. Now another step you can do, which is optional. Let me see how it's getting caught on the, I don't know if you could see that. It kind of gets stuck a little bit on the rough part of the needle. And another thing, especially for white yarn, this might happen, where the graphite rubs off and makes it dirty. So there's 2 things you could do here. Step 1, sand this down a little bit. I think I'm going to sand down the tips a little bit as well. So let me do that. Alright, and as you can see, sanding it kind of got it a little bit dirty. And if we just went right into, you can already see it on my fingers, it's rubbing off. Now if we went right into knitting, it would get the yarn that we're using dirty. Now if you're using something other than white, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Especially if you're just doing this to make a practice piece, start learning how to knit, not the biggest deal at all. However, if you want to be a little bit particular and you have some clear nail polish laying around, what you're gonna want to do is to coat the ends in clear nail polish. So I got this at the dollar store because I do not own clear nail polish. And you just want to do a little coat of it. I'm going to put this over here so it doesn't get on anything, and we're gonna do the same thing over here. Now this seals the graphite in, makes it a little smoother, so you could potentially just skip the sanding step. And it makes the graphite not rub off on your yarn. So I'm gonna put that to the side and let those dry off, and I'll show you the difference when they're all dry. Now I mentioned the other option for this is to get erasers. If you don't have erasers, use rubber bands. I never had these in my house when I was younger, so that's how I came up with the rubber band idea. But if you do have these, squeeze a little glue in there. You might want to cut the eraser that's already there off, so there's room. But you put a little glue in there, stick it on the end, and it works as a stopper. So either way, both of these ways are completely free or almost completely free. But yeah, they work the same whether you have rubber band or not. If you're using a rubber band, that way you don't get in trouble for ruining pencils. I mean, pencils are pretty cheap, so I don't know why you would be in trouble. But if you are, rubber bands might be better.
Off camera, I added a second coat of the clear nail polish because the graphite was still showing through.
I mean, it's not staining the yarn. So you know what? It does work. It doesn't stain the yarn. We're good. Alright, the next version of needles that we're going to cover is the dowel version. Now, I was looking for these at the dollar store. I feel like the dollar store should have these. Sometimes, like if it's by a holiday, you could probably just buy like some flags and just rip the flags off because they're only stapled to these. So we have this. First thing we're gonna want to do is to sharpen them. Perfect. All right. So these are a little long. If you wanted to, you could cut them shorter. I don't mind the length. I'm gonna keep it this long. The ends are very sharp. So I am going to bust out a piece of sandpaper. Alright, so we have our sharpened sticks. What I want to know is what size these are. Now, our number 2 pencils came in at around a size 11, which is a very chunky needle size. So these dowel sticks, I got the smallest I can find, and they are a perfect 8. Perfect 8. So these are exactly an 8. And now, again for the ends, these don't have graphite on it, so you don't have to worry about them staining. So you don't have to worry about the nail polish at all. Same thing as for the pencils, you can get rubber bands for the end, or same thing, erasers, glue those on. I wanted to be a little cutesy, so I decided to pick up some modeling clay. Well, I made a mistake with these, and I got the type that never dries out. Mistake number 1. I was looking for the air dry kind, but they didn't have that. I should have gotten the bake one. Whatever, we'll pretend that it's a bake one. So what you're gonna do is mold little balls, however you want, and just stick them onto the ends. You can mold them. I think I'm gonna mold this into a little mushroom to be cute. Close enough. Not really, but it's okay. How does the first one always look so much more perfect? No matter what you do, first one is always the best. It's beginner's luck. Eyeliner, project, mushroom shapes. Close enough, you get the idea. Then you would let these dry, if you got the right type of clay. And then you have the option of customizing them. So put a little paint on, like I wanted little mushrooms. Put some red paint and some white dots on there. Have a little mushroom capped knitting needle that you made all by yourself. Now if you wanted to get fancy, you could put some like wood stain or something on here. Not necessary at all, but these are two virtually free versions of knitting needles. Now I personally really like the dowel version because you can make yourself a selection of sizes. Dowels come in literally every size, and if you make it yourself, you can customize it. Like if you want longer needles versus shorter ones. Most Michaels do have the long like stick that you can cut up into pieces. That might be better than buying a pack like what I did. But this gives you more variety, and it still is virtually free if you don't want to do the little clay thing. That adds a few dollars to it. Honestly, not that much though, because clay is only like $2 per pack. If you get the oven bake ones, which you just put it in the oven for a few minutes, I think it's only like 10. And that will not burn the wood. It will not burn the wood. The wood won't burn if it's not on, like, directly underneath flames. So you don't have to worry about catching the kitchen on fire. But those are two virtually free ways. And of course I mentioned the other way is to just get needles from the craft store. These range, there are cheaper ones for around $2-3-ish each. All the way up to more either thicker needles or higher quality, which can go up to $5 to, I think I've even seen $7. Alright, so minimum that I spent was free, because I have these at the house. I have the rubber bands at the house. Tops, if you have to buy everything from the nail polish to the pencil to the rubber band or the little eraser caps, you're looking at $1, $2, $3. If you want to get both, that's $4. And you have an entire, like, there's 16, so you have 8 needles for $4, which works out amazingly. The other option you have is the dowel stick needles. Now again, you can go with rubber bands or you can go with erasers. So minimum price you're looking at for these is the price of the dowels. And the pack of dowels, let's see how many are in the pack. 15 piece. I don't know why they couldn't make it even and do 16. But that is 7 needles, and that was $3.50. Now that is just the pack. You can get the individual sticks at many craft stores. That comes to, I believe I've seen it for like tops $2. But that does make less than a pack of 15. Alright, so minimum price would be the price of the dowels, which is you're looking at around $3.50. Top price, if you choose to do the clay tops and make them all cute and decorative. The clay top price I saw was $3, so that's $6, but you're dividing that between 7 pairs of needles. So that comes out to less than $1 a pair of needle. Now if you wanted customization like paint, you'd have to purchase that. Michael's Hobby Lobby has craft paint for 99 cents. I think I've even seen it for like 69 cents. So very top price you're looking at for 7 of these needles would be, let's say you get 2 different colors of paint, so that's $3.50. $4.50, $5, $6, we'll say $7. And then the 2 paints, $7, $8, $9. So you're looking at $9 for 7 needles, which is a little bit of a stretch. However, you get to make them completely customizable. So these are anywhere from $3.50 all the way up to $9. Remember, it is for 7 of them. 7 of these is $9. It's not $7 just for the 1 pair. You're getting a full pack. And if you get the individual smaller ones, it's gonna be probably less than half the price. Alright, so I hope you found this video informative and help you get started on knitting. There's honestly no excuse for you to not be able to knit. I have shown you how you can take literally everyday items and turn them into knitting needles. The next video I will be covering all about yarn and where you can get cheap yarn at basically no cost to basically no cost, all the way up to super high-end stuff where you can find that. So that does it for this video about the needles. I will see everyone next week. Bye!